have to admit that I had no idea when I met with this board back in January, February, that my first opportunity to talk to the community would be about such a painful pill to swallow. That was not in anybody's plan, but it's the cards that we are dealt and their hands we have today. I want to start and try to make this as informative. I came for a while last night. I think the gentlemen were doing a great job, but there's so much information sometimes it's almost overload. So our attempt today is to be as informative as possible to let you know the circumstances in which we are faced and hopefully have a shared understanding of where we are. I just want us to start and recognize that my purpose and my ultimate responsibility is to provide an appropriate, challenging learning environment for our students. And we've got to support that learning environment fiscally to make that happen here in Emanuel County, pre-K through 12th grade in all classrooms. This starts with expectations for our teachers and their expectations for their collaboration and their professional development to become the best teachers they can be in the classroom. But it is also coupled with this idea that we've got to provide the financial resources adequately to have a quality basic education. And I put that in quotations because you'll see that acronym come up from time to time. A quality basic education is what the QBE formula is supposed to provide each school system from state dollars. Local dollars are supposed to add grading, add supplemental services. And you'll see that that's just not the reality. And we must be concerned. And I'm a little bit cautious here that we might be losing focus just a little bit here, that we're discussing the education of our children, our pre-Kers, our young boys and girls, our teenagers, and we need to make sure that we're focusing on that population and not the adults that are involved in this, although the adults are extremely important, but it's our children that are most important. It's not a discussion on SPLOST, but I want you to know a little bit about how we're impacted and what limitations we have. This is one misconception that's come out recently. I think I was quoted in the paper or the radio speaking about some facility improvement priorities and what we were going to do at Swainsboro Primary School, when we all know that the condition at the pre-K center is much worse than the Swainsboro Primary School. I agree. But we have state facility money that the state is actually holding in its coffers of about $750,000, $750,000 that they will agree to send us, provided the legislature doesn't pull it away this next year, in this year, provided we provide 10% of the cost of repairs. We have a 5-year facility plan, and in that 5-year facility plan, Swainsboro Primary School is next in line to have some renovations. Pre-K cannot be included. Pre-K is a separate funding issue. It is a lottery funding issue, and it is not. It cannot receive state entitlement facility upgrades. After that, your building has to be a certain number of years old. The state has to recognize it has needs, but it can't have so much needs that they won't put money into it. So it's not a priority that you're making. It's simply a situation with the state. And so that's how we can take $100,000 roughly, maybe a little less, of our SPLOST monies, and the state will match that, overmatch it with $750,000 to have some extensive repairs done and improvements at Swainsboro Primary School. Just want to give you a little bit more SPLOST information. Our revenue is down significantly. However, in FY10, we are doing the following. We are purchasing, and we already purchased textbooks for English Language Arts K-8 and high school math. We are doing miscellaneous painting system-wide. We have purchased a new student information system. That was mandated by the state. It's where all the student records are kept on all the computers throughout all our schools. It has to be on a compatible system that the state will recognize that we can communicate with today. We purchased that through SPLOST. We have done fencing and drainage and landscaping work at Swainsboro High School this summer. It's ongoing now. We have remodeled 10 bathrooms at pre-K. We have allotted monies for the purchase of band instruments and music instruments at ECI, at Swainsboro High, and Swainsboro Middle. We are in a process right now of trying to control some incredibly erosion problems at ECI. We've got some buildings that water's backing up on, and the rooms are, air quality is not good, a lot of mold and mildew. And in that plan also is to do some improvements inside the existing field house, buildings, locker rooms. There's been a lot of interest in wanting to build a new one. I was at the This past Monday, I was at the Booster Club meeting at ECI's football program and was asked quite extensively about a new building. And I said, no, we can't do that. We can't build a new building, but I think we can do some remodeling and provide some locker room showers for the boys. There's not even a shower facility there. And then the biggest expenditure for commitment in FY10 is a set aside of $350,000 for a pre-K center. Hopefully in the next 2 years we'll be able to set aside another $250,000 or so each year through SPOS revenue so that project will go forward. And then there's various large ticket items that are actually paid out of SPOS that SPOS wasn't there, we'd be having to do locally. We have a lot of air compressors in this system, and we live in a hot community, as you know. And we have HVAC systems go out. We are able and legally able to handle those through SPOS as a privilege to have to dip into local funds to handle those major maintenance needs. So SPOS helps keep our millage rates local, provides community technology. Without these necessities, I think I'm repeating myself, we would have more on the backs of the local property owner. This presentation does not include federal title money. It convolutes the process. We have state and local revenue, and then we have federal title money because we are a poor school district, poor community, have high rates of free and reduced lunch, children that are eligible for free and reduced lunch. So we have several federal funds that we have. It's a good thing. But there's also a counterproductive part of that. This past January and February, I was principal at Madison County High School. Met with superintendent and Miss Abby there, and was told, you've got to cut 3 teachers from the high school, and you've got to cut $120,000 in instructional money. So when I got here, we started talking about some cuts. I thought there was ways to cut within the schools. And I was so surprised to get into the process and find out our schools don't have instructional money that comes through the state and local funds. It all comes through federal title, and we can't cut that out of our budget and save us anything. I was quite surprised. It's already been all trimmed off. If we weren't receiving federal title money, I don't know where we would be, because paper, supplies, instructional supplies are not in our budget. They are not there to cut out of the schools. And in Madison County, which is not that different than Emanuel, at one school I was expecting to pull $120,000 off the table. So I was surprised. It's good that we got the federal money, but it keeps us being able to reduce locally through other means when we have to reduce locally.